Meeting to order. Let the record reflect that it's Tuesday, October 1st, 2019. Village clock has it at 7:34 p.m. ASD, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could remain standing for a brief moment. At this time, I'd ask to call for a moment of silence. Today marks the 19th anniversary since Captain Gutowski of the Tinley Park Fire Department passed away in the line of duty. So I ask that we could take a moment of silence, remembrance of him and for his family. Thank you. Be seated. Chief?
On behalf of the entire Tinley Park Fire Department, I'd like to just read the scenario that unfortunately claimed life of Captain Thomas Gutowski 19 years ago today in the village of Tinley Park. On October 1st, the year 2000, Captain Gutowski and his engine company were assisting the police department with ventilation of a condominium. A resident of the home had passed away of natural causes 2 weeks prior and had not been discovered until that day. Ventilation of the condominium was needed. Captain Gutowski assisted with the placement of a ventilation fan and assisted with the repositioning and stacking of fans. Captain Gutowski fell ill and was sitting on the back of the engine. He walked to the nearby ambulance where it was determined that he was experiencing a heart attack. He was transported to the hospital where he suffered a fatal heart attack. This incident was the 5th call of the shift for the captain, and he was the first and only line of duty death of the Tinley Park Fire Department. So on behalf of all the members of the Tinley Park Fire Department and our entire community, thank you, Mayor, and the board here for this moment of silence. Important that we recognize the ultimate sacrifice paid by Captain Gutowski in the line of ones who here in the village of Tinley Park. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Glutz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Present, thank you. Item number 1, at this time, I ask for a motion to consider approval of the agenda. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Mueller and seconded by Trustee Berg. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 2, at this time, I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the minutes. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Properly moved by Trustee Berg, seconded by Trustee Glotz. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Item number 3, Trustee Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-096, recognizing Fire Prevention Week in the Village of Tinley Park from October 6th through October 12th, 2019.
Is there a second? It's properly moved. Go ahead.
Fire Prevention Week is to be held in the Village of Tinley Park beginning October 6, 2019. All citizens are encouraged to do their share to provide a safe place in which to live and work by eliminating those fire hazards which cause the loss of life, property, and resources. Fire Prevention Week is always scheduled to coincide with the anniversary of the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill. Any comments from the board? Nope. This will be all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 4, at this time I'd ask for a motion to consider the following appointments to the Village of Tinley Park to complete the count committee for the 2020 census. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Thank you. The Village of Tinley Park Complete Count Committee brings together a cross-section of community members who will partner with the U.S. Census Bureau and utilize their knowledge and expertise to reach out to all persons in the community to ensure a complete and accurate 2020 census count. The following committee appointments are being made for the Village of Tinley Park Complete Count Committee for the 2020 census. We have Sean Roby of the Tinley Park Park District, Zach Musel of the Tinley Park Public Library, Jamie Bonema of Bremen High School District 228, and Dr. Barb Rains from Summit Hill District, School District 161. This is to consider the appointment of these individuals. It's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glutz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
That motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 5, at this time, I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the following consent agenda items. Such a motion,
So moved.
properly moved by trustee Mueller and seconded by trustee Glatz. Madam Clerk, can you call those on the roll, please?
Item A, consider request from the American Legion, Post 615 Women's Auxiliary, to conduct a raffle on November 2nd, 2019, with the winner being drawn at the American Legion, Post 615, 17423 67th Court on that date. Item B, consider a request for a block party permit on Saturday, October 12th, 2019, on Walnut Lane between 9007 and 9131 from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And lastly, item C, consider payment of outstanding bills in the amount of $1,242,098.48 as listed on the vendor board approval reports dated September 20th and September 27th, 2019.
Thank you, Clerk. Does any board member care to remove any of these agenda items? Let the record reflect there's none. Please call the roll.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. Item number 6, trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-097, authorizing the execution of an annexation agreement with Lenny's Food and Fuel LLC located at 19420 South Harlem Avenue.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
The petitioner, Mr. Leonard McHenry, Lenny's Food and Fuel Harlem Avenue LLC, an Illinois limited liability company, has petitioned the Village of Tinley Park to annex his 4.87-acre parcel located at 19420 South Harlem Avenue. The property currently operates as a motor fueling facility for autos and trucks, a convenience store with drive-up food service window, 2 food service businesses, a car wash, and outdoor dispensary filling of propane tanks. The proposed annexation agreement sets forth a schedule for the petitioner to bring the property into compliance with village building and sign codes with some noted exceptions. A public hearing was held before the village board meeting on September 17th, 2019. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, trustee Mueller. Any comments or questions from the board? Let the record reflect there's none. Please call the roll.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
No.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 7, trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider adopting ordinance 2019-0-055, approving the annexation of a parcel of property located at 19420 South Harlem Avenue to the Village of Tinley Park.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
The petitioner, Leonard McHenry, 19420 Harlem Avenue, is seeking annexation of his property with pins 19-09-12-202-014-0000 and 19-09-12-202-016-0000. This item was discussed at a Plan Commission meeting held on August 15th, 2019, and at the Village Board on September 17th, 2019, as a first read. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, trustee Mueller. Is there any comments from the board? Let the record reflect there's none. Please call the roll.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
No.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Trustee Mueller, are you reading all these items tonight? Are you reading all of the items? I know they're
I
all
believe so.
yours. Okay. Just was curious. Item 8.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2019-0-056, granting a map amendment to B3 General Business and Commercial District with special use permits to allow for the continuation of the existing automobile service station and automobile car wash for property located at 19420 South Harlem Avenue.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
The petitioner, Leonard McHenry, is seeking a map amendment to B3 zoning upon annexation with special use permits for an existing automobile service station and automobile car wash. The property at 19420 South Harlem Avenue is a developed property with existing uses, including a convenience store, drive-up window, restaurant uses, and outdoor dispensing of propane tanks. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on August 15, 2019, where a vote of 8-1 was taken to recommend to the Village Board a rezoning to B3 General Business and Commercial District with special use permits for an existing automobile service station and an automobile car wash. The Village Board reviewed this request at first read at the September 17, 2019 meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller, is there any comments from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
No.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 9, Trustee Mueller.
So this one I'm not going to read. I'm going to actually make a motion to postpone item 9 till the November 5th regular village board meeting.
Second.
Is there a roll on that? Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Do you want me
Yes.
to talk about it for a second?
Just vote.
Just vote?
The discussion would be limited to the reason for the postponement.
Did you want to include why you're postponing?
Yeah, I just want to say that Trustee Glatz and I met with the petitioner for this particular property, discussed some of the legal issues, some of the site issues, and with him, we recommended that we move it to the November 4th or 5th meeting. So we've been in touch with him, and that's why he's actually not here today. So
Okay.
just want to let you guys know.
Thank you. So there's been properly moved and seconded to postpone to the first meeting in November. We are on a roll for this.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 10, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-103, approving and awarding an Oak Park Avenue facade grant to Robert Thesis for a property located at 17326 South Oak Park Avenue, Tinley Park, Cook County, Illinois.
Second.
This resolution approves a facade grant for Robert Thesis. Planned improvements for the building will include a complete new front facade. The total matching grants will not exceed $35,000. The Economic and Commercial Commission recommended the grant request at its September 9th, 2019 meeting. The Community Development Committee recommended approval of the grant request at its September 24th, 2019 meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Is there any comments or questions from the board? Very well. Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 11, Mike.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2019-0-060, granting a special use for a substantial deviation from the North Creek Business Park planned unit development with exceptions from the zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a Holiday Inn hotel at 18320 North Creek Drive Avenue.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
The petitioner, SD Hospitality LLC, is seeking a special use permit to construct Holiday Inn at 18320 North Creek Drive in the ORI PD zoning district. The proposed full-service hotel will be 63,471 square feet in size and 4 stories tall on a 2.47 acre lot. There will also be 108 guest rooms with amenities that include an indoor pool, fitness room, meeting rooms, outdoor patio, dining area, and a hotel lounge with a bar. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on September 19th, 2019, and voted 5-0 to recommend approval with a special use with revised conditions in accordance with the plans listed in the listed reviewed plans and findings of fact in the September 19th, 2019 staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the board?
Yes, this is a beautiful building, in my opinion. I'm glad we have a Holiday Inn coming to Tinley, and thank Kimberly and Dan, I left, for all the work you guys did on this at the Plan Commission.
Anything else from the board? We'll call the roll, please.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 12, Trustee Mueller.
Bill's going to give me a break.
Bill Brennan. Trustee Brennan.
Yeah, we said
Item 12.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-104, a resolution approving and accepting a plat of re-subdivision for the Union Square Townhome project located at 6822 through 6830 179th Street and 17884 through 17890 Oak Park Avenue.
Is there a second?
Second.
I think it's been proposed. Trustee Brady, did you move that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
So Cindy's.
The petitioners, Mike and Kevin Halloran, have petitioned the Village of Tinley Park to approve and accept the plat of re-subdivision for the Union Square Townhome project. The Union Square Townhome project received approval of their site plan and plat of subdivision in 2016. Since that time, the developers have experienced sales that indicate a preference for three-bedroom units. Therefore, the Hallerans have requested an amendment to their approved site plan for the two buildings comprising 9 townhome units on the north side of 179th Street. The total unit count will change from 6 two-bedroom A units and 3 three-bedroom B units to 3 two-bedroom A units and 6 three-bedroom B units. In order to meet the required setbacks, the building fronting Oak Park Avenue has decreased the width of units slightly from what was originally proposed. The proposed site plan changes necessitate a change in the subdivision plat. Therefore, a plat of re-subdivision was reviewed at the September 19, 2019 Plan Commission meeting and was unanimously recommended for approval to the village board with a vote of 5-0. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, trustee Brown. Is there any comments from the board regarding item 12?
I have one. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I just think this is a beautiful development. It's what I'd really like to see in Tinley Park, and it's very close to my home, and I really, really enjoy the three-bedroom option for families. It's lovely. Thank you. Hallerans, I've never met you, but thank you.
Trustee
My only
Galante?
question was, how does this affect like parking?
They all have two-car garages, and they do have a driveway approach behind, but the parking here in this area is not as extensive as it would be in the other areas, but it meets all requirements for parking.
Thank you.
Kimberly, so the switching, so the other two buildings, are they completely sold out now that,
Yes, and the Phase 2, which is this section, he has 3 already pre-sold of the 9 units.
and the 3 that are pre-sold, are those 3 bedrooms?
I didn't get that exact breakdown, but
Thanks, Kimberly.
Anything else from the board? This item's eligible for adoption. We'll call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes?
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 13, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-105, approving and accepting a plat of abrogation of a public utility and drainage easement for the Union Square Townhome project located at 6822 through 6830, 179th Street, and 17884 through 17890 Oak Park Avenue.
Second.
Thank you.
The petitioners, Mike and Kevin Halloran, have petitioned the Village of Tinley Park to approve and accept a plat of abrogation of a public utility and drainage easement for the Union Square Townhome project. Due to market changes, the Hallorans have elected to increase the footprint of their townhomes to provide for more three-bedroom units. The number of units remains the same. However, the increase in size of the units impacts the 5-foot public utility and drainage easement located at the north end of the property, which will be reduced to 2 feet, resulting in a 3-foot total easement. The village engineer has approved the request. The Plan Commission reviewed a plat of abrogation of a public utility and drainage easement in its September 19, 2019 meeting and recommended its approval with a 5-0 vote. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, trustee Mueller. Any comments on the board?
Yes, I have one. John, when it says village engineer, is that Colby, is that Christopher Burke, or is that Robinson?
It's a combination of Colby and the Robinson.
Thanks.
Anything else on the board? We will call the roll, please.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 14, receive comments from the staff this evening. Anything from the staff? We'll move on to item 15, receive comments from the board.
I'd like to make a comment, Mr. Mayor. I talked to some of the trustees about the, we had a comment earlier about the marijuana issue, the opt-in, and wanted to mention, I talked to Dave about it, about possibly having an open forum for a date for residents to weigh in on the issue. So, I don't know, Dave, if there's a,
Like
You
a
have
town, like a town hall, is that right?
yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's
As I mentioned, trustee Brennan, this is there's some towns that have done it, some towns that haven't. Purely a policy decision. If you want to do that, we could certainly set a specific date, a couple weeks in the future, and obviously advertise it. We would put in, we had scheduled, I think, the next COW meeting to have a discussion of the ordinance based on some of the feedback we had last time, but obviously we put a hold on that until we had the hearing. So if the majority of the board wants to do it, we can schedule in the next couple weeks and publicize it.
Would you invite experts in the field to speak?
I mean, we could look to see if there's some other towns that have had experts.
It just would, it would be a more conducive conversation if we had all sides of it,
Yeah.
right? All right, so there's some things that need to flush out there. I mean, we're not putting you on the spot to come up with the idea tonight, but that's a good
That
suggestion.
sounds like there's a consensus to do that in the next 30 days, or, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, trustee
Good.
Brennan.
Yep.
Anything else on the board?
No, I did.
Uh,
Go ahead, Bill. No?
Trustee Brady?
Yes, I have two comments. One, I would like to see the chiefs that are here to come up and have a presentation given
have
to
a
them.
proclamation
Their
to be
proclamation
signed.
presented to them so that we can take an appropriate picture on this presentation. Can we do that now, chiefs? As long as you're both here? I like pictures. I say that because I'm the only one that doesn't have to move. Yes, sir.
This is in regards to the Fire Prevention Week resolution. Whereas it is the mission of the Tinley Park Fire Department and Fire Prevention Bureau to prevent loss of life and property from the perils of fire through education, engineering, and enforcement. And whereas the introduction of new means to construct buildings, new technology to meet today's energy and housing needs is imperative for all agencies and individuals to partner together to help prevent fire. And whereas the village of Tinley Park continues an unprecedented growth in high-risk populations that require a dramatic and concerted effort to minimize the loss of life and property from the perils of fire. And whereas the Tinley Park Fire Prevention Bureau recognizes the challenge to meet the fire safety needs of changing demographic and more diverse communities. And whereas all professional members of the fire service and other public and social agencies coordinate their efforts to provide coalitions to ensure a successful reduction in the risk of fire. And whereas each village citizen is empowered to provide a safe place in which to live and work by practicing fire prevention principles. And whereas the personnel of the Tinley Park Fire Department and Fire Prevention Bureau are committed to providing public education to the community and to those in need. And whereas on October 8th through October 10th, 1871, the Great Chicago Fire consumed the city of Chicago, where over 300 people died and 17,500 buildings were destroyed. This fire began discussion which resulted in what we know today as fire prevention. And whereas the 2019 Fire Prevention Week theme, Look, Listen, Learn, Be Aware, Fire Can Happen Anywhere, works to educate the community about three basic but essential steps to take to reduce the likelihood of having a fire and how to escape safely in the event of a fire. Therefore, be it resolved by the President and the Board of Trustees that the week beginning October 6, 2019 be designated as Fire Prevention Week in Tinley Park, and urge all citizens to join with the coordinated effort of Tinley Park Fire Department and the Tinley Park Fire Prevention Bureau to provide effective educational and related fire prevention programs adopted this first day of October 2019, signed by the village president, clerk, and all the trustees.
Center spot. Sorry, hold on. Oh my gosh, sorry. There we go. Okay, thank you.
All right, we're
Chief Reardon, get it done.
Chief, while you're standing, what's going on Saturday?
Thank you very much. I'd like to remind all the board members and elected officials, as well as the community, of our annual open house at Station 46 at 173rd Oak Park Avenue, beginning at 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. We've got a graduation ceremony for the Citizens Fire Academy at 12 o'clock, and plenty to do for all ages, and lots of educational opportunities, and a ton of fun stuff that we have planned for the day. So please come out and join us, kind of our, kind of the Christmas Day and fire service, to come out and join us for our annual open house. So please come and spend the day with us.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
It also reminds me of one more thing that you said, and you mentioned about your graduation class. You have 3 members here of that graduation class. If we graduate, we're not sure what's going to happen on Saturday. But speaking on my own, it was a fabulous class that you guys put together and your staff for the last 8 weeks, and the bonus tomorrow for EMS as well. And we've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm sure everybody that can hear me and everybody across our town and across the country can appreciate what the fire departments do. And we are certainly as much grateful for that, even more so now to see the training. We did just a scrape of what they have to go through in the past 8 weeks. And from 3 weeks of classroom to the rest of it on hands. And it was a great experience for me, and I know my fellow classmates, 3 that are here, the 2 of us that are here, and the other ones that aren't here, would have to agree. The comments that we've commented about the class, and this being the first one, we're the first ones, and has just been great. Madam Clerk, do you have to add to that?
Yeah, I would commend the chiefs again for just an incredible experience. Just you went above and beyond. It just exceeded every expectation I had, and I'll take that with me the rest of my life. It's a really great memory, so thank you.
Lisa, our fire eater?
What?
Fire eater. Fire dancer maybe, but.
Well-trained and dedicated. It was very interesting. It was enlightening. I would encourage anyone to take the class if they can.
Absolutely.
You guys should have been in uniform today.
You didn't pass yet. They're very warm.
Well, our uniform would hide our faces too, because we had the mask on. We had a chance and opportunity to try that in having the breathing mask on as well as the hat, the helmet, and the whole deal. So it was quite an experience. Warm one, but it was a good one.
Thank you.
Anything else, Trustee Brady?
No, I think that's it for the moment, sir.
Want to read mine?
Trustee Klotz.
I just wanted to clarify something in regards to the Gaming Act. Last meeting, a resident stated that we have no control over the gaming if they are annexed in. They also stated they can go directly to the state and get their gaming. However, doesn't understand the Gaming Act. I spoke to them, and pursuant to the Video Gaming Act, if Lenny's qualifies as a truck stop establishment based upon the eligibility factors in the Act, the Illinois Gaming Board would likely grant them a license to operate gaming terminals. However, prior to allowing licensees to utilize gaming terminals, the Gaming Board directs its agents to conduct inspections and activate the terminals. In practice, those agents would likely not activate the gaming terminals because the use of those terminals is in violation with the local regulations. In the rare instance that the terminals are activated, Lenny's use of the terminals would put them in violation of Administrative Code Section 1800.210, general duties of all video gaming licenses, and subject to Section 1800.310, grounds for disciplinary actions. As such, Section 210 states that all licensees must comply with all federal, state, and most importantly, local laws. Further, Section 310 allows as grounds for disciplinary action based upon a licensee's failure to comply with any federal, state, or local law or regulation. Accordingly, any use of the gaming terminals in violation of Village Ordinance would likely lead to suspension and revocation of the gaming license. Section 210 and 310 allow for adequate protection for the village to inhibit a licensee's ability to operate gaming terminals without local approval. That's it. I don't know if you want to add anything to that?
Took the words
Is that
right out of my
covered?
mouth.
Did I misstate anything?
No,
I don't think so.
that's stated correctly, and after last week's discussion and the prior time this issue was before us, we are in contact with the general counsel of the gaming board, who did confirm a lot of what you read, trustee Glatz. Also, that to the extent that a truck stop were to come forward with a request, there is some work this board needs to do. As part of the massive gaming expansion that we had earlier this spring, the state has increased the number of video gaming terminals that regular establishments can have to 6. Our code still says 5. Now, the Gaming Act does not preempt home rule authority, so I believe it's proper to leave it at 5. However, if you want to, the way the law is written, it's up to 6 machines or up to 10 machines, whatever it would be. We should probably get into the act and clarify that, whether you want to allow the 6, keep it at 5, but right now we do have a separate video gaming license that allows 5 terminals only, so.
Go ahead, so let
Yeah,
finish.
so there's some work that needs.
I think Dominic and I had planned on bringing that to committee meeting, the whole meeting, conversation about the gaming legislation as being at 6 now. Is that up for next week? Is that set up?
Currently slated for admin and legal for next week.
Okay, so we're gonna start talking about that in committee. There's one thing I wanted to add to it. So, there would have, just to understand what you're saying a little bit better, there'd have to be some type of ordinance passed for liquor licenses for truck stops, correct? 'Cause Tinley Park does not have that currently.
For liquor.
For liquor, correct?
Liquor as well.
Because Tinley does not allow the sale of packaged liquor in gas stations, correct? All right, I just wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying in this email. That is. Anything else, trustee Glatz? Nothing else on the board. We'll move on to items 16, receive comments from the public.
Very brief comments here. October, my building, I don't want to celebrate, but it's, our building puts pink lights out on it for the Lynn Sage Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I don't think we had anything in here tonight, proclamation or whatever Tinley Park usually does for something like that. Let's see what else I got here. The 3 units for the Union Square townhouses. There's a need for 3 townhouses now. Excuse me, I'm just throwing this out there. For the Hanson development, there's only 2 apartments. There's no 3.
Correct. They only have 1 and 2 bedroom units in the South Street project. This is
Okay.
a townhome development, and they are proposing 3 bedrooms.
And so I know townhomes are different than apartments, but there's a need for, I guess, at the south end of Tinley Park, people are asking for 3 bedrooms. Obviously, townhouses are different.
Right.
But Hanson is only going to 2 bedrooms. There's no need for 3 bedrooms at all?
Well, I mean, that's not what they were proposing. I mean, townhomes are more seen as a single-family product, even though they're attached. So it is more for families typically looking for more space. It's a larger footprint. So, I mean, it's a very different product.
Okay, yeah.
Townhomes are for purchase, whereas South Street is for rentals.
Okay, yeah, I was just asking about that. That was my concern or question, nobody else's. Usually people come up to him and ask me different things. Bill, trustee Brennan, I think you were asked a question about the opt-in. Was it about the cannabis?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure if people who were watching the meeting, if they were paying attention. So, are we gonna have maybe some type of meeting with people that are pro-cannabis, growers, and people that are against it, and if we do have something, do you think we should have it maybe at the convention center? I'm not sure, I mean, what interest it would be. I'm just throwing this out there.
Just before, you could answer the question in a second, trustee Brennan, but it's a point of clarification, it's an opt-out,
This
not
is-
an opt-in.
I mean, it's.
The
it's
village had to
opt-in or-
opt-out.
Yeah, it's opt-in or opt-out, so is.
Well, it's automatically in, and we have to opt-out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
And then you could finish your conversation.
my comment was just basically just to get resident input, and that was specifically.
Okay,
for
do
what I think
we
you're
think we
asking.
should, well, I don't know what the, I'm just, would this venue be big enough, do you think, right here? Or how would you gauge interest? Do we put it in the village village website or something like that to gauge it? So we don't want to pay money for the convention center if we don't need it. That's what I'm saying.
I think we're very early on in the conversation of planning this, but the staff will certainly make recommendations to the board.
Okay, so we're not in a hurry for January 1st.
I wouldn't say the word, I wouldn't want to get into the semantics of hurrying or scheduling, but
No,
it's been discussed, and the continuation of gathering public input is obviously priority to the board, so.
Correct, because I know previously it's been mentioned that we want to do this right, so that's why I'm just asking the question, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor Vandenberg and the board agreed that we'd rather wait and get it right than just.
Rush to it.
Yes.
Right. Do you want to talk into the legalities of the
Yeah, I
opt-out
just-
portion?
Yeah, it's a straight opt-out. It's January 1st, 2020, recreational marijuana is going to be legal in, as it set out in the 700-page law that was passed. I just want to be clear for the public watching that as we're talking about the scope of this public hearing, it's, I don't think it, well, we can have the scope whatever we want, but I don't think it should be whether, cannabis should be legal or not. It's done. That's a done decision. The decision for this board and the town is, how do you want to regulate it? Do you want to allow it in certain places? We certainly have some zoning authority that we need to get to, so I think it should focus on that rather than, good, bad, or otherwise, because it becomes law, January.
No, I fully agree.
I just want to make it clear.
Yep, Councilor Kindly, I agree. I was just wondering if I think we should advertise, for village input, and then if there's really not that much interest, then we can just have it here. But if there's a lot of people that want to talk about it, then maybe move it to a larger venue. But that's it's just a question. That's all it was. I don't have an opinion either way. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before he became a trustee, Michael Glatt stood up at this podium on many occasions and expressed his opposition to expanding gaming in the village of Tinley Park. There are hundreds and hundreds of postings out there by Mr. Glatz. One that I'll just, so to speak, get to the chase, where he writes, "We have got to stop adding more gambling machines just for some tax dollars. It's time to put a cap on it. I can't believe our commissioner is okay with watching $48.5 million being wagered of people's hard-earned money for a handoff of $200,000. Diane Galante stood at this podium attacking the expansion of gaming many, many times also. Since she's been elected, she's had 5 opportunities when people have come in here and asked to have gaming licenses approved. One was withdrawn by Buffalo Wild Wings, so she voted 4 times. 1 no, 2 no, 3 no, and 1 yes. That 1 yes was for Primal Cut. Every one of you elected officials on that board promised to end pay-to-play in Tinley Park. And every one of you elected officials on that dais has accepted campaign contributions with regard to gaming, or people who are asking that their gaming licenses be approved. I remember very well, and I think the video is out there, again, when Michael Glotz stood at the podium, looked at acting Mayor Seaman, and attacked him for taking a $1,500 campaign contribution at the time when Durbin's gaming license request was pending before Mr. Seaman, implying that the campaign contribution could and probably did have some effect on the vote. Well, now One Tinley Park is following right along in what Mr. Glotz used to complain about. Here's an example. Prior to the April election, One Tinley Park accepted a $1,000 campaign contribution from Primal Cut. Concerned citizens, to be fair, took a $1,051 campaign contribution from Primal Cut. On June 4th, 2019, the board approved gaming for Primal Cut. Trustee Galante's only yes vote for Primal Cut. Then on August 8th, 2019, Primal Cut made a $2,668 in-kind contribution to One Tinley Park. In-kind means Primal Cut gave them $2,668, as Mr. Glotz reported on his disclosure forms, for fundraising food, 2 room rentals, and entertainment. Campaign contribution before, vote, $2,668 dropped in a campaign fundraiser after. Years ago, Phil Cadner wrote that campaign finance in Illinois was a system of legal bribery, where a businessman or contributor expected something in return for that campaign cash. Campaign finance disclosure laws don't necessarily make it easy to find out who's really dropping this cash to our elected officials. Here's an example. 2018, Rory Group, R-O-R-Y, contributed $5,000 to Friends to elect Michael Glotz. On June 4th, when the village was looking for a new lobbyist and a new lobbyist had to be appointed, on motion of Mr. Glotz, Rory Group was hired as the village lobbyist at a $3,000 a month contract. Then on August 9th, One Tinley Park accepted $1,000 from a contributor by the name of Thomas Mannion, who Mr. Glotz listed on the campaign disclosure forms as a self-employed lobbyist. When you go to the Secretary of State site, you find out that Mr. Mannion is the manager at Rory Group. When you go to the Cook County lobbyist registration system, Mannion is listed as a lobbyist for Rory Group. But Mr. Glotz didn't want to make it too obvious that they got the campaign contribution after the approval for Rory Group. Lenny's, One Tinley Park, have been very creative in their campaign contributions and reporting. Citizens to elect Michael Glotz took $2,500 in campaign contributions from various Lenny's gas stations, the last being on March 22nd, 2019. Can I have about another minute or two, Mr. Mayor?
That extension should have been asked prior to your being in public comment.
Well, I will make one final comment in 18 seconds. It had been your practice on occasion when an ordinance was up for adoption to let people make comments. So now I have 8 seconds, and I will say, see you next time, folks. We'll talk about campaign contributions and who took what and Phil Cadner's claim of legal bribery.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome you to the community, Lenny. Look forward to working with you. Hope it's a long and mutually beneficial relationship. To the board, I would like to congratulate you for not engaging with the last speaker, because I feel like, as one of the half a dozen people who's been in a courtroom with him, that's where this is going. I know it's got to be hard to sit up there and listen to this stuff and not be able to say anything, but I appreciate that. I think the village will appreciate that. You're doing the right thing, and like to congratulate you, too. I'd like to see this kind of stuff stop. We've got some really big and great things coming towards us as a community. I'm excited. Some of those things I didn't agree with, I agree with now. I've changed my mind on who I support and who I don't, but I think we need to put all that stuff behind us and make some of those great things happen and keep everyone out of court. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. One of the previous speakers stated campaign contributions are legal bribery. Campaign contributions are legal, according to the state of Illinois. Every political group accepts them. Nothing's being hidden. It's all out there. Anybody can look it up. The previous speaker, and maybe, I'm just going to say this. How much longer are we going to have to deal with this? What is taking place in our village is nothing short of legal harassment, legal stalking. People are being dragged into court, not just elected officials, staff members, employees, village residents. This is so out of control. It's embarrassing. I don't know how he stands up here. And even, sorry, that's personal. I mean, people's jobs are being called. People, I mean, seriously, they're having their bosses called. I mean, this has got to stop. People are being dragged into court because they voiced their opinion. This is nothing short of harassment in making people afraid to step to the microphone. Can we get any volunteers anymore for committees and commissions? People have resigned because of this. How much longer are you as a board, is you as staff members, is us as residents, going to put up with this crap? It's time. It's time we do something to stop this. And it can be done. This is absolutely reprehensible, what is happening to us. God, we need Lenny in our village just to pay our legal fees because of him. I mean, we need the Racino as well, because who knows what else is coming. I can stand here and point figures as to why this all happened. I'm not going to do that. But we have to work together, residents, elected officials, staff members, to stop this. We have to. I don't know if it's going to take a class action slap suit from residents. I don't know, but something has to take place. We have to stop this. We have so many phenomenal, great projects and things coming forward to our village. We are moving forward. Changes are being made, and they're positive and they're good. But we have this albatross hanging on us, holding us back. It's time to step up. It's time to step up and stop his nonsense. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no other comments. We'll move on to item 17. This time I'd ask for motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss the following items: litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of a particular public body has filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. B, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body, or legal counsel for the employees of the public body, or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. C, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. And D, the setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body.
So moved.
It's been properly moved
Second.
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. We'll be in closed session. Thank you. Have a good night.